Lee, Julie,
Yeah.
how are you doing? Thanks very much for doing this. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, where you grew up, where you're from.
Yeah, well, I'm from Zachary originally. I've lived in McGull a lot of my life. I also lived with my mum in Leyland for most of my school years until I got a bit older, and then I moved to McGull with my grandparents. Julie's from Dundee, is from Scotland. I met her through a holiday we were on, and I met her there. And the situation she was in and I was in, I kind of didn't want her to be in that situation, so I brought her back to Liverpool with me. I've worked most of my life, apart from the last 15 months. I haven't worked. How it all began for us was, we never chose to be on the streets. Believe you me, you don't want to ever choose to be on the streets, ever. It is the worst situation and a nightmare of a life. All different weathers. We've been in hospital at least 5 times each, through getting not well, through being out and having wet clothes and asthma attacks and wet blankets and having to deal and live with that. And like, we lived with my nan and granddad basically. We lived in McGull it was not long after when we first came back from Scotland, wasn't it? When we first came back from Scotland, we've been together 13 years and married for 10. Now, we lived with my nan and granddad for years and years in McGull in a bungalow, and what happened was, over time, got not well with dementia and that, and they've ended up in a home. And now they're in that home, we're not in sheltered accommodation, we're not able to stay with them, kind of thing. So what happened was, we got put into a hostel called Bosco House in Bootle. We went through them and we ended up, the pandemic happened with COVID, and we ended up in a hotel for a good few months, and then we got ourselves a flat. Now the flat wasn't in the best area. There was a nice flat, it was just, the area was just horrible. A lot of the gangs around there, the people are nice, but it was the gangs around there, and we ended up with a nightmare of a situation, because they were breaking windows on us regularly, they were giving us abuse, attacking us in the street, kicking shopping bags out of our hands, just giving us a real horrible, terrorised life. I mean, the neighbours have been there for 40 plus years.
Yeah, and they're scared to go out the front door now because of the gangs and that, you know.
The situation the way it is.
We get them in the wrong way, and
so I told the housing over our situation, didn't we? And we explained we were having we wanted to move, even though it was a great flat and all that. We wanted to move just because phoning the police it makes it worse. And we'll think, oh, phone the police, great, yeah, it doesn't solve it, it just doesn't. It makes it worse with people like this.
The housing keep telling us just to go back and get on with it.
Just to go back and get on with it for now. But it could be up to a year or more before we get moved and have to live like that. And I like I said, I've worked all my life apart from the last 2 years. I've always worked. I'm a labourer on building sites, and I've got a lot of experience in all different trades. I'm not qualified in any, but I can do a bit of everything. And I mean, my wife, she's worked most of her life. She had 3 jobs, you know, and it's just like the situation's ended up where we've had to now come and live in this tent for the past 15 months to fight so that we can get ourselves somewhere else. And we never wanted to do this, and for the past 15 months we've been out here, but for the past 7 months the housing have been telling us they're going to come and see us to get the tenancy annulled and get it, and they keep saying they forget and they're busy and this and that. So I've actually spoke to them today for the first time. They phoned, and I've told them I'm going to come and see them because I'm kind of sick of getting nowhere. I'm sick of this situation. Yeah. And like I said, we're lucky not to be dead. I mean, living in a tent, a lot of people like this situation. We hate it.
Do you feel safe?
I'm safe only because I'm not stupid and I don't care who it is. I will protect
You went out
Julie.
One night and when you came back, there was a lad from it.
I went to see my nan, she's not well.
Yeah.
I look after my nan, she's got a bad hip, she's got diabetes. And I went over to look after her, and Julie was on their own in a tent. And only 5 minutes after I left, some fella tried to force his way in to rape her. Now luckily there was 2 reporters who come running over, just by coincidence. They worked for the Echo and the Mirror. They came over and they assisted Julie. They asked for help, and the security man that was stood there, one of the businesses said, "Not to do with me, I'm not doing anything." And I thought, is that for real? So if she was to have got raped, he just stood there and done nothing because it's not his problem, basically. These reporters come to my wife's aid, and when I come back over, I couldn't believe what I'd heard had happened. And I thought, it just shows you, if you were on your own, how dangerous it'd be. It's a good job I am here
I
with you.
didn't overpower him. He was such a big man. And he just wouldn't take no for an answer. So I just had to scream in the end. And that's when these young lads came running to me.
So you've had an attempted rape on you. Let's get, you know,
Yeah.
Lee, what's one of the worst things that's happened to you on the street?
I mean, we've actually had it where we've had our tent urinated on. We've had people throwing food and drinks at us and our tent. And we haven't done anything. It's just because, like, they're drunk and they think it's funny and it's a laugh. And our situation's already a nightmare. And you've got people doing things like that. We've had people waking us up, shaking the tent, kicking the tent. Just missed my wife's face one night when they kicked the side of the tent and the foot nearly come in. And it just missed my wife's face. Now, if it had, I'm not going to put up with that, as anybody wouldn't. And I thought, I'm going to end up getting nicked for kicking off with somebody. But I didn't do anything wrong, I was asleep. And we've had to deal with so much situations, haven't we, really, when you think about it? We've dealt with more than most of the homeless deal with, because they're always out taking drugs, getting high. Don't get me wrong, we were on drugs, but we got ourselves on a prescription only 4 months ago. Julie's on methadone, I'm on Subutex, Taff's on methadone, Gavin, now our friend who stays with us. But basically, you know, the only reason I've said that is because my wife has now been obviously given a hostel, but I haven't, and it's nuts because we've been out longer than any of them, because the rest of them are out by choice. They want to be out, we don't want to be out.
We don't
I've
associate
told
with
the
any of
council,
them.
I don't associate with all the rest of them. I don't even want to be like this. I've had to learn to live like it. I never thought I'd have this situation in my life. I've worked hard all my life since I left school, and I always had somewhere to live, and I never thought I would have to have this for a situation.
That's how easy it can be, though, can't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Everything changed just like that. I had a good job, I was working, earning money every week, and it just went, like, the man I was working for, he got had off for like 1.5 million, and they ended up letting about 15 people go. And then it kind of, my grand had to sell the bungalow, and they had dementia and they owed money, and then we ended up coming out like this because of the way we were terrorised out of our house, and out of our flat. I spent a lot of money on that flat. Worked hard, Tim.
Yeah. So physically, you've, you know, been physically drained and physically beaten, and you know. But what's it like mentally out here? What's your mental state like?
Well, I've got schizophrenia, ADHD, and ODD, and it makes it worse than ever for me, because, like, when people annoy me and do things to us, especially to endanger or think they're taking the mickey and think they're having a laugh, it just makes it worse. And I worry about you all the time with your asthma, and I worry about us waking up every day because I think we could freeze to death, especially when it was cold.
I was diagnosed with depression a few years back,
we both
and
have.
just so depressed. I mean, there's been many days I've woke up in the morning and wish I just hadn't woke up at all.
You've actually wished you were dead rather than your situation
like
now.
This, yeah, because it's been that bad sometimes, and just wet clothes, wet blankets. Imagine having that, you wake up and you're wet, because literally this tent is not designed to be on concrete, it's meant for mud. So the outside at the sides here should be more outwards, simply to stop the rain getting on the walls. So because we can't have it like that, when it does really rain hard, we get wet. We've had our quilts, we've had 10 sets of blankets, 10 sets of sleeping bags, and 10 sets of quilts, correct?
Yeah,
since we've been out, or more. And we've been through so many clothes and jackets, just literally through them being wet.
And the council are no help whatsoever. What about charities?
When I say help, they're offering me places that are miles away, like in Southport. And I'm like, how the hell am I going to get up and down? Because there's no way I'm going to leave. We don't even like being apart now. She's been in this hostel for the past few weeks, and I can't sleep properly at night, and she doesn't, because we're not used to being apart.
But there's a fiction in that. In the letter, it's in.
There's a lot of lies been
There was a
told.
statement from Clayton Square manager and other people, and they've got a
twisted
problem
things.
with the charities coming to the tent and
Helping us.
with
They've
food
got a
and clothes
problem
and
with
that.
people helping us. They don't like people
We're
helping us.
attracting people
And
to
we're
the
attracting
tent.
people to the tent, which we're not the wrong people. Nice people. So I just don't quite understand what their game is. I mean, they've said that we're urinating and feces down there. That's nonsense, because there's 5 cameras where I am, and the reason I stay in this spot is not to annoy anyone, it's because it's where it feels safest. It's away from all the rest of the homeless. I've got 5 CCTV cameras on me at all times, which I like. The police regularly go past at night. I like that. There's a lot of businesses around here that actually do like us and do look out for us, luckily, but not all of them do. And you just get so many dangerous people in town, especially at the weekends. God, what's it like at the weekends?
What can people do to help you?
I mean, all I want is just to get myself back into accommodation somewhere that's not a nightmare to live. I've already been told once I get myself in accommodation, properly get myself sorted and this prescription done, I've got a job waiting for me. Dad's going to get me a full-time job.
Yeah, but it's
I just
there's a meeting
need
on
out
the
of this
12th, isn't
situation. I've been told there's a meeting coming up on the 12th, a panel meeting that I can attend with Julie, and we can fight our case so that we can be together in a hostel and actually get me off the streets. Because at the minute, I'm still waiting to sign this tenancy off that I've been asking for months to do.
But they're also saying you've got no local connections.
And
right?
I have.
And
My
you've
local
got his whole
connections
family.
is my nan and granddad in Maghull, that's Sefton. My dad lives in West Derby, which is Liverpool City. And then my nan in town, which is Liverpool City Council. She's in sheltered accommodation. I don't quite understand how I haven't got local connections.
I've got no local connections.
Julie
apart
hasn't
from
got
him
none.
and his family, but they put
Yeah.
me in.
They
But
put
they said
Julie
it
in,
was because of my
but it's
health.
because of her health,
Yeah.
which I was glad of. I am glad of that. But I think I deserve that as well. I've waited 15 months. I don't want to be like this. A lot of them want it, and that's why they're like that. So that's why they're not getting the help. I want it. I want out this situation. It
He's a
rests my
desperate,
head
and he's
every day,
a
honestly.
desperate. He's a really
Yeah,
desperate.
desperate,
Yeah, that's the truth of it. It's just we've got on with it. I've toughened up big time. Believe me, it took me 8 solid months to toughen up to the cold and to toughen up to how it is and what you have to deal
You
with.
have to do, yeah.
And you have to, because otherwise you won't survive.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
Safe, happy, and normal life again together. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers watching?
You don't ever want to end up in this situation. Believe people think, oh, it's just you make loads of money. It doesn't work like that. You know, you don't always make loads of money. I promise you now, we didn't have any dole for the whole 15 months we've been out. We've only just started getting dole again.
Other payments,
Now,
one payment,
we had
120.
one payment of £120 each of us, that's it. That's the first time in 15 months. I'm not even used to being on the dole. Like I say, I've worked all my life. But at the end of the day, I haven't had a penny. This whole time, I've relied on what I've made in food and money. And believe you me, I've lost a lot of weight. So has Julie. And I don't want to be out here. I want to be back to a normal life. I'm working again. I love nothing but work. I'm up every morning at 6 a.m. I can't help it. It's just like an alarm clock that I've always done. I'm used to getting up. I can't lie in bed. And I get myself up and I'll go and sit and I'll make us some money. I'll get us some food. I'll get us some ciggies. It doesn't come easy. Some days you sat there all day.
How do you make your money? Do you beg?
I won't ask.
Yeah, but
I'll
we'll
just
sit there, but we don't ask.
I
we
won't
don't
ask
sit with a
anybody.
cup or nothing.
I'll sit with a cup. I don't sit with a sign.
Yeah.
Everybody that has met me since I've been out will help me simply because I don't ask. I don't have to ask. They're more than willing
Nobody's
to help me.
obliged.
No one's obliged to help me. Whereas a lot of other people who are homeless do beg and they're very aggressive and nasty with it, and people are scared and intimidated. And I don't think that's the right way to ask for help. If you're genuine and you need help, you can do what we do and just not even
We've
ask.
even got
People
some
know
other
that
homeless,
we are genuine.
some of the other homeless, they
And they'll
come
help
and
us.
give us a tenner on the payday, and that only because
They're
they
in
know that we're
hostels, and only because they
genuine.
know we're genuine and we're decent people and and we're not like the rest. So we've even had the homeless, other homeless that are now in hostels and now getting told, give us and help us. We've even had that simply because they know we don't want this situation and we want out of it, and it's killed me, it's took my health, and I've lost so much weight, so's Julie. I'm in hospital a lot of times, the both of us, and if anyone was to ever be in this situation, don't even get into it. Try your hardest to do anything you can to avoid this situation because it can kill you.
People that judge us, what do you say to them?
I can't help myself sometimes. I say to them, well, you're not better than me because I'll tell you now. And I explain myself, and once I do, a lot of the time, they'll actually help us and apologise. But you do get people that do judge us, and it does hurt me. But I have to let it go because they don't. It's like you don't exist because a lot of homeless people behave in a certain way that give people that opinion. If they all behave like we did, people wouldn't
I'm
think
just
like
grateful
that.
when somebody stops and acknowledges me. Just that little talk.
Just acknowledge it,
Just being acknowledged is a
And
nice
just
gesture.
talking to us,
So that's what
and
people
just
can
saying,
do, isn't it?
"Something to eat and me." But
Yeah.
It's not about money.
Yeah.
If you want to give me money, sound.
Just a
You know what I
conversation
appreciate? Something
sometimes.
to eat and a conversation. That is what I appreciate. We haven't seen a telly for how long, have we?
Yeah.
Not played a computer for so long. I mean, I'm not one of them people who does sit in front of the telly, but you do miss it when you don't have it. And you miss the heat. And you miss sitting making a meal, a home meal, because everything we get is not home. None of it's home. It's all bought from shops and takeaways. None of it is a proper meal. You can't cook anything for yourself out here unless you get a stove. We're in this tent, I wouldn't advise to do that. Even camping one, I just wouldn't. This tent cost me £180. I bought it myself, and it took me a while to save up for it. And the reason I done it is because I knew that it could keep us safer than sleeping in doorways. That's how we originally were living when we first came out for 3 months, living in doorways and all that. Now that was horrible, wasn't it? We ended up getting this tent, which is fireproof, windproof and waterproof. That's what I did.
So,
I knew it'd help.
anybody watching this, all you want is conversation. If you want to give them food, they'd appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, you can see they're just normal people end up in this shitty situation.
Yeah.
Not by any means their fault.
I don't want to be in it.
They don't want to be in this situation. So can we just think about that next time we judge or we just walk past? You know, let's help these people out.
Nice.
That.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.